Using children in gang art. Today I'm going to talk about gang art mailed from a prison, and I have a full report on that art that was mailed. You will hear no names of children, obviously. In the gang art that I'm going to show you, the faces of the children have been replaced with a big red heart. And that's what I want you to know right up front. When you see this red heart, it is not part of the original gang art. But I'm not going to put any children on here or put their faces on here. And I'm not going to give names. I'm not going to give the state, the location, none of that. I just want to talk about the seriousness of gangs using gang art to recruit and use and get young children involved in the dangerous game. I'm Gary York, True Prison Stories. Please subscribe if you like this story. And I don't want anybody to like this story. I want everybody to watch it because I think it's very important. And I'm going to talk about what we can do about people who use children in gang art anywhere, but I'm talking from the prison side, obviously, because it's True Prison Stories. I'm going to have to read a short paragraph or two on each picture as I put them up from the actual report itself. I want to make sure that I don't show anything here on the back of the location. This first picture, I'll have to put my glasses on. This appears to be a half male face on the left and a female face on the right. Okay? In the upper right hand corner circled is the word S-U-R. This is consistent with the Serenos, a street gang that originated in Southern California in the 1900s and has proliferated across at least 35 states. The Serenos gang are affiliated with the Mexican Mafia. There are multiple Sereno gangs in the United States. Their allies are other gangs such as the 18th Street Gang, which we'll see in a minute, Armenian Power, Aryan Brotherhood, La Familia, and more. Both the Serenos and their allies identify with the color blue, and their rivals such as Bloods, Latin Kings, Nuestra Familia, Tiny Rascal Gang identify as red. This drawing contains both blue and red as the primary colors, which would depict what is known as a click-up, which is when rivals come together for a common purpose. This is seen frequently inside prisons, but does happen in the community as well. The color drawing, which you may not see it in color here on my YouTube here, the color drawing shows a hand side circled that represents TRE, T-R-E-C. This translates to the number 13 and is commonly used by the Sereno gang members. 13 represents the letter M, which shows their allegiance to the Mexican Mafia. I'm reading to you from a gang report written by a very qualified gang specialist who works with the courts and works with prosecutors, okay, to help prosecute these gang members. The right eye also depicts the letter S, which uses part of the eye as the S's starting point, and the remainder of the S is under the eye. This is consistent with the rest of the drawing referencing Serenos. There is also S's under the chin. So, as I said before, the child's face, I put a heart there so we can't see the child's face. Even though it is a drawing, it's a very good drawing of a real child, and we're not going to put that child out there. The next photograph that was mailed out from a prison, the upper left of the drawing has some letters. The two letters in the middle also depict the number 66. This ties in with the second drawing in the next section. The drawing depicts a girl and a tiger. The tiger's head is striking out of the letter E, which connects to V, which connects to Y, and this spells a name. Over the head on the right circled are 3 E's. And on the left circled are 3 E's. These can refer to a gang or a neighborhood gang. The girl's hair is circled on the bottom as 3 perfect sixes, one backwards, one upside down, and one reverse. 3 sixes, or 666, is commonly used by the 18th Street Gang in graffiti tattoos. While the 18th Street Gang is not officially part of the Serranos, it has historical ties. Both these drawings I've shown you are consistent with Serrano and 18th Street gangs. Both of these gangs have been confirmed, and I won't get any further into that. Gang art targets our children. It's a recruitment and intimidation method. The gangs capitalize on the art's power to convey to the children the glamorization of look what you can be, look at you in that art, and you can be even more, to try to lure them in, intimidate them in. Sometimes their recruitment is used by force, sometimes with intimidation and glamorization, money. But what are the children really used for? The children are used to run drugs. They're also used for sex trafficking. They're also used for personal pleasures of gang members. It's very dangerous, very, very dangerous for these children to be involved with any gang member. What can we do to stop them? Well, I would sure hope that from the prison side, we can make sure that we're watching these outgoing males. And anything with any type of prison gang art, I wish we could photocopy and report it to the Inspector General's office, report it to your STG people at the prison, your strategic gang, your strategic threat group sergeant or officer, or whoever is running that position, and let's investigate this. And let's find out if we can't prosecute, because you can. Under Florida Statute 874.05, there are several ways to prosecute this. That's my state. I'm using my state. I'm sure the other 49 states across the country have similar statutes that can be used to prosecute inmates, gang members using children in their gang art. Okay? Now, I want to make sure that we know that, yes, prison gang members actively recruit children into gangs, and we can actively prosecute these people. Why are we not doing more of that? Why did these 2 pieces of gang art leave a prison and arrive to a certain location and upset an entire family, scare an entire family? A person who does this has no care for children at all. That's my opinion, and I believe I'm correct. To put children into gang art and place them in danger, you've got no brains when you do this, or you're using these children to your benefit. You're recruiting them into your gang to use at a future date for criminal activities, and that is sick. Anyone who uses children in gang art, and those children can be identified, and that person who did the gang art be taken into custody and charged, could be prosecuted and should be prosecuted. But the number one worry I would have with anybody that puts children in their gang art is they should never be left alone with those children. Again, they should never be left alone with those children. Anybody who has any history on these kind of things arriving from prison in their mailboxes, gang art with children, you want to make a comment, please feel free to do so. Anyone who's investigated these type crimes before, please make a comment. Anyone who has ideas on how we can set up things at the jails and prisons to catch gang art with children in it and send it to the state attorney's office. There's your other area that we need to be involved with. We need to talk to the state attorneys and say, let's prosecute these folks. Let's get our gang investigators on it from the streets, you know, our local law enforcement agencies. Let's get our gang investigators on it from the prison side. Let's stop this from happening. Let's prosecute, and let's keep them in prison for another 10 years for being dumb enough to try to recruit children through gang art. Thank you very much for watching. Gary York, True Prison Stories.